Good afternoon, fourth grade. We're going to continue reading in our American Revolution text. And today we're going to be talking about symbols of freedom in the American colonies. Before we get started, we have a quick write. It says, what is freedom? Is it important to you? Why? Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the focus question. Our focus question for today is, why was freedom significant in the American Revolution? Our vocabulary words are Union Jack, and that is a nickname for the flag of the United Kingdom or Great Britain. So you draw a line to this picture. The next word is liberty, and that is the state of being free. And so in New York, there's a Statue of Liberty because the United States of America is a country that celebrates freedom or liberty. And then the last one is honor, and that's when you give someone a great respect. And so this is a picture of President Obama honoring a soldier with a medal. Go ahead and turn the page, and we're in our Civil War text on the page that says Symbols of Freedom. And that is page 38 and 39. Before we get started, we're going to turn our title into a how or why question so that we can find the main idea. And so the how or why question I came up with is, why were the symbols of freedom important? And you're going to write that down in box 1. Why were the symbols of freedom important? Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready to read. And as we read, we're going to underline our answer to the question, and we're going to put it together to find our main idea. Let's read. The early flag of the United States had 13 stripes to represent the states and the Union Jack to honor the colony's British heritage. When independence became the goal, Congress adopted a new flag with a field of stars for the states. So this was the flag when they were a part of Great Britain, and then when they decided to fight for their independence to be free from Great Britain, they changed their flag. And so instead of having the Union Jack that represented Great Britain, they had a blue background with white stars, and each star represented the states. Let's keep reading. Philadelphia's Liberty Bell, which rang out to celebrate the Declaration of Independence, became a symbol of the Revolution. Another celebration of liberty was Yankee Doodle, a tune sung by redcoats that mocked Americans. Patriots composed new verses to express the pride of the revolutionaries. All right, so I underlined different symbols of freedom. I underlined evidence about the new flag. That was a symbol of independence because they changed the flag. I underlined the part about the Liberty Bell because that became a symbol of freedom for the colonists. And I underlined the part about how they wrote new songs that talked about freedom. So for our main idea, we would write, during the Revolution, the colonists were fighting for freedom. They used many different things to represent the freedom that they were seeking. The American flag, the Liberty Bell, and Yankee Doodle are examples of how colonists expressed their pride and independence. And you might need to go back and re-listen to this a few times because it's a pretty long answer. Okay, so press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready to keep reading. Box 2 asks us, what is the structure of symbols of freedom? And so if I go back in my text and I'm thinking about it, the author gives me examples of symbols of freedom. And when we know that when the author gives us examples of on a topic that the author's describing the topic. And so the structure of the text is descriptive. So in 2A, I would write, this is a descriptive text because it describes the many different symbols of freedom that existed during the Revolution. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for 2B. It says, why did the early flag of the United States have 13 stripes? And if we go back in the text, it says the early flag of the United States had 13 stripes to represent the states and the Union Jack to honor the colony's heritage. So we know the 13 stripes represented the states. So in 2B, we would write, the flag had 13 stripes because there were only 13 states at the time. Each stripe represented a state. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for box 3. It says, why did Congress change the colony's flag? And if we go back in our text to the part where it changed, it says, when independence became the goal, Congress adopted a new flag with a field of stars for the states. So that lets me know that Congress changed the flag because to show that the colonists wanted to be independent of Great Britain. They were breaking away from Great Britain, and one way to show that they were breaking away is to change their flag. So in 3A, I would write, Congress changed the colony's flag once the colonies decided that they wanted to be independent from Great Britain. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for 3B. It says, what message did this change send to Great Britain and King George III? And a flag is a symbol of your country's identity. And so before, the colonists still had the identity of Great Britain. That's why they had part of the British flag on their flag. But when they changed it, and they didn't have any symbols of Great Britain on their flag, that was showing King George III and Great Britain that they were becoming their own country, that they were separating from Great Britain. So in box 3B, we would write, removing the Union Jack from the colonist flag notified Great Britain that the colonies no longer felt attached to their British heritage. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for box 4. It says, what was the Liberty Bell? We go back in the text and find the words Liberty Bell. We're going to read that sentence. It says, Philadelphia's Liberty Bell, which rang out to celebrate the Declaration of Independence, became a symbol of the Revolution. So I know three things about the Liberty Bell. It's in Philadelphia, it rang because they signed the Declaration of Independence, and it was a symbol of the Revolution. So in 4A, I would write, the Liberty Bell was a bell in Philadelphia that rang to celebrate the Declaration of Independence. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for 4B. It says, why did the Liberty Bell become a symbol of the Revolution? And when you think about it, the reason the Liberty Bell rang was to signal to everyone in Philadelphia that the colonists had agreed to take that step toward independence. They had agreed to risk their lives to fight for independence. And so whenever they heard the bell, it reminded them of their commitment to freedom. And so for B, we would write, for the colonists, the revolution was their fight for independence. The fact that the Liberty Bell rang to celebrate the Declaration of Independence mirrored the celebration of the colonists and represented the freedom that the colonists were fighting for. Press pause to write down your answer and play when you're ready for the paragraph. The paragraph says, what were the symbols of freedom in the Revolution, and what did they represent to the colonists? To answer this question, you can use your main idea as your topic sentence, and then you can use the details about the Liberty Bell and the flag to support your answer.